He was 95 years old. Attorneys for a convicted pimp say they have uncovered new evidence now to bolster their accusations about widespread corruption among former Metro Vice cops.
Now, the allegations raised in new court documents are believed to closely parallel an ongoing corruption investigation by the FBI. As the I-Team reported exclusively, the FBI probe started back in 2014 and targeted several police officers suspected of conspiring with sex traffickers.
Now, tonight, George Knapp reports on the new evidence in the case of one convicted pimp and about questions regarding why other sex traffickers were given plea deals.
It's a tremendous amount of information. We have a couple of anchor boxes of documents from the public defender's office, and we still need his trial documents.
That's defense attorney Janice Marshall last April when she first appeared on behalf of convicted pimp Ocean Fleming. 10 months and many hearings later, she's written enough to fill a bookshelf. Fleming is hardly the first convicted felon to claim he was set up by police, but the scenario he described about the detectives who put him away seemed too outlandish to be believable.
You got a cop involved in a sexual relationship with one of the victims. Then he's involved in a sexual relationship at the same time with the prosecutor. Not to mention at this time, you married. So, in all actuality, you got more females in the courtroom than me.
Fleming is one of more than a dozen witnesses known to have been interviewed by the FBI since the first hint of its public corruption investigation, a 2014 raid on the Las Vegas home of music producer and escort service kingpin Jamal Rashid, better known as Molly Mall. In her latest motion, Janice Marshall outlines the complicated plot that is believed to parallel the one being pursued by federal agents, notably that star Vice Detective Chris Boffman, his partner Al Biaz, and other detectives cooperated in an ongoing criminal conspiracy with Molly Mall, in which the police allegedly used their badges and authority to take down Molly Mall's competitors in the lucrative Las Vegas sex industry. The motion alleges that Molly Mall made monthly cash payments to officers, that he supplied prostitutes to cops, that he had the police target rival pimps, including Ocean Fleming, that police and lead prosecutor Deputy DA Liz Mercer coached witnesses so they could level more serious charges, such as kidnapping. Mercer, the prosecutor, was having an affair with Boffman, the cop, and the two are now married. Because of that conflict, the DA's office had to recuse itself, and defense attorney Adam Gill was appointed as special prosecutor in the appeal of Ocean Fleming and another pimp serving life, Raymond Sharp. Along the way, attorneys for Metro have opposed several attempts at discovery, and former Detective Boffman was deposed but took the fifth on scores of questions. Now, Marshall has obtained phone records of contacts between Boffman and Molly Mall in and around the time of Fleming's trial, hundreds of minutes of conversations between the cop and the escort kingpin, chats which dropped off dramatically after Fleming was convicted and sentenced. Marshall has also sought phone records for Boffman's partner, Al Biaz, and wants to depose out-of-state witnesses, including Molly Mall. With the scent of corruption wafting around the courthouse, a few other recent cases involving alleged pimps have raised eyebrows. Zane Campo, who has an extensive criminal record, was facing 5 felony charges, including sex trafficking. Days ago, he pled no contest to 1 count of disorderly conduct. Suspected pimp Anthony Galassi, an aspiring rapper, was charged with sex trafficking and first-degree kidnapping. He pled to a single count of pandering and was released for time served, 120 days. A violent felon, Shane Valentine, originally a person of interest in a double murder related to the sex industry, recently cut a deal which combined multiple criminal convictions into lesser charges. He was represented by defense attorney Adam Gill, who coincidentally is the special prosecutor in the Ocean Fleming case. Up soon, the case of Tyree Wright, accused of being a violent pimp and kidnapper. One factor that could tie these cases together under a very broad umbrella, the FBI investigation, now in its 4th year. George Knapp, 8 News Now.
Defense attorneys are asking for a new trial for Ocean Fleming. A hearing is set for this Friday.
We have links to our previous reports on the FBI investigation on our website at lasvegasnow.com.